As I look at myself in the mirror again, my vision slides to my green wave of hair. I reach for it with my fingers and touch it for a while. Man, when was the first time I dyed my hair? 2? 3 years ago? I stop myself as I stop the water falling into the sink and I leave the bathroom. After I arrive into the kitchen, I spot Faith. Thank goodness her eye bags are gone. Sitting in the chair, writing into her laptop. What is that scene about? Faith looks up from her work straight into my eyes. When she recognizes me, she sighs and looks back at her computer. The main character finding out a murder that is important to the story. We have a lot of experience in that, huh? Faith doesn't respond. I just shrug the topic off and go to the fridge. I take out a box of juice and pour myself a glass, and a question pops into my head. Fallen is where? Still didn't come out since breakfast, which is weird considering it's almost noon. I sip from my glass of juice as I think. I'll go get him and we'll go somewhere to eat. Ooh, we're eating outside, cool! Faith looks up at me, a noticeable fear in her eye. Why are you scared? Why go somewhere? Too terrible with my cooking. I'll probably get fast food and get here ASAP. After hearing fast food, Faith shifts in her chair but doesn't object anymore and continues writing. I place my glass on the counter and we go to the bedroom. As I come to the door, my step slows down as I hear something from there. A guitar? Doesn't sound like it's coming from any kind of speaker. Alan never told me about having a guitar. Where did he get it? I decide to slowly open the door. Aww. As clear as daylight, Marlon is playing on a guitar right before his desk. With eyes focused on his left hand, chords are coming from the base of the guitar. He's picking. I'm pretty sure he's not strumming. The guitar is made out of wood and has few scratches here and there, but overall is in a good shape. Marlon still didn't register someone else is in the room. I used that opportunity to silently enter the room and walk to the bed. I'm still keeping my eyes on his fingers as I'm sitting down. His delicate fingers on his left are switching between strings as his right fingers are bringing them to motion. It's almost mesmerizing. After a while of listening, my vision abandons Marlon's fingers but instead closes its eyes. As I'm tapping my foot with the rhythm, I subconsciously wonder where Marlon got the guitar. You've been living with him, right? So we should know that he has a guitar. Does it matter? Probably not. What? I guess he noticed us. As I open my eyes again, I notice that Marlon has stopped playing and is looking at me. There's a short silence as I'm trying to process that I've kind of invaded his music playing privacy. Did you enjoy it? After a while of confusion, I smile as Marlon receives a nod. Marlon then takes a look at the guitar and sighs as he slides his palm across it. I forgot I had it. It's been buried under the mess of a closet for 2 years. He points with his head on the closet in her bedroom. The strings must be nylon then, since if it were metal, that would be very rusty and uncomfortable to play. And that was perfectly fine when you took it out? No, I had to tune it, otherwise it still works somehow. Marlon then places the guitar leaning against the bed. Oh, who is this? Just as I want to open my mouth again to say something, the bell rings throughout the whole house. Who could that be? You think I can see through walls? No, but I think it would be awesome to see through things. Yeah, and also awesome to look through clothes. Don't worry, I will only look at beauty. We both explode into laughter as I leave the bedroom. By the way, we're probably gonna get fast food as lunch. What exactly? I don't know. McDonald's, KFC. I would be down for some KFC. Does it matter? When I arrive at the front door, I can hear a voice coming from the front door as Fate is peeping out. Who are you? A woman's voice responds to her. Who are you? You smile castle here. Let me think, you should probably Yes, I'm here. Marlon opens the door, fully interrupting Fate and letting me see the woman. Oh, it's just Vaughn. She's in pretty ordinary clothes, probably around her early 20s, holding a small notebook in her left. Marlon, it's good to see you. I can see likewise. Both of them extend their hands and shake their hands. Fate frowns as Marlon greets the woman. Malon, who the fuck? It's the interviewer, or the reporter rather. That's the journalist I've met yesterday. Malon snaps his fingers as his voice trails off, looking away. Stephanie Vaughn. Yeah, that. Yeah, that. We forgot her name. Mrs. Vaughn then turns to Fate, which is still frowning. She then notices Fate's heterochromia, which she looks at it for a few seconds. She then shakes her head and continues. I'm guessing you're Malin's twin sister, Faith Castle. Fate still looks at Mrs. Vaughn with narrow eyes. She's clutching the handle, ready to close it at any time. Yeah, I am. Mrs. Vaughn smiles and then looks at me. I'm pretty sure what she wants to ask, so I reply before she can ask. Oh, we get her full name. Ina Alessi, if you were wondering. That's actually the first time I've heard someone with the surname Alessi. Mrs. Vaughn, with an even bigger smile, extends her hands and we shake in a business-like manner. I then head for the important question flying in the air. If I can, why are you here? Did I mention that? I didn't mention that? I'm so sorry. I love the fact that Psionica, this is pretty much Psionica's sprite, am I right? Pretty much combines the facial expressions of Sayori and Monika. Mrs. Vaughn produces a chuckle for herself. I wanted to ask you for something. What is that something? Fate's deep voice is still hostile towards Mrs. Vaughn, still clutching the door. It's related to the documentary about Mason Aston. We look at each other with clear discomfort in our faces. Then Malon coughs and reaches for his keys. Well, we were just getting ready to venture for lunch. What if we discuss it while that? Mrs. Vaughn looks at Fate, who is still frowning, and then nods. That sounds fine. Where? In a restaurant we first met. Is that okay? In a couple of minutes? Alright. I'll be expecting you. Yeah, whatever. As Mrs. Vaughn speaks, Fate shuts the door and then narrowly looks at Malon, still gripping the handle as hard as she can. What did you tell this one for fuck's sake? Shouldn't you be aware about what's happening, Faith? I just answered questions. And what were those questions? Where do you live so I can shoot you, Mr. Stupid? For God's sake, can you shut up for a goddamn second? Faith turns to me after I speak up. So you don't mind telling private information to some random? Think about this logically, Faith. Would she kill off the people she wants to interview? Faith keeps looking at me and then at Malon. After a few seconds, she sighs. Alright, whatever. You better get a grip of yourself, Faith. Please, just calm your ass down. Her fault if you die. Faith holds her hands up as she goes upstairs, presumably into her bedroom. Jeez, it's hard to find friends if you're like that, Faith. Malon crosses his arms with a sigh, looks into my eyes. I think we both know what she's going to ask for. I breathe out as I lean against the door, looking out of the flute-shaped window. The sun is just slowly being covered by a set of dark clouds. Okay, we're back at the past, I'm presuming? And we're in Malon's shoes. Wait, press spacebar. That's her being sunshine, okay. I've been thinking about the conversation at the rooftop with Tina for quite a while, and I do have some ideas as to what's going on. I'm still unsure, though, as how to approach her with it. Once I'm done, I throw out the paper bag I was keeping my lunch in and sigh. Now what? I guess I'll just head back to my classroom to wait for my next lesson. I pick up my bag and head for the school. Now which direction is the classroom? I think it's left. The walk goes on pretty quick. Which lesson is gonna be? No, not history. I think I have that lesson with Yuri. But at least I won't be alone. After a bit of walking, I come to the right classroom and open it. What I see her there is a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect Yuri to be here. She's currently eating from her bento box, eating some kind of sushi. But at least we get some time with Yuri now, considering her childhood friend is not Sayori. Our ex is apparently Natsuki. Monika is the main donkey here, considering that she's the one who's dead and apparently, you know, self-aware somehow. And then now's Yuri time. What I didn't— oh, they're here! What I didn't expect was Tina and Sayuri in the corner of the room quietly discussing something. Sayuri? They both look at me. Sayuri is delighted to see me while Tina averts her eyes from me. Understandably so. Hi, Malon! Sayuri waves her arm above. That gives you a signal to come to them. What's going on? Sayuri looks at Tina while she taps her fingers, a bit embarrassed. Tina. Yeah, Tina here. Just wanted to discuss something with me. And what's that something? She wanted to talk about you. Her eyes. Just her eyes. She wanted to talk about you. Sayuri. I couldn't resist. About me? I look at Tina. She still has her eyes averted from mine, and instead she's still trying to burn Sayuri to the ground. Sayuri, can you tell me how did you end up here? Yuri and I were supposed to meet here. While having lunch, Tina came in. Okay. Why were you supposed to meet Yuri here? Because I wanted to, silly. Well, at least it's nice to know that Yuri isn't as shelled in as she is. Just like that. Well, I felt bad for you and she told me she's eating lunch alone, so I came along. Aw, that's sweet of you, Sayuri. I would prefer eating alone. Sayuri looks at Tina with a surprised look. Why? I just prefer it. Yeah, but why? It's personal, I'm sorry. Sayuri opens her mouth again, but after a while of thinking, she decides against it. Alright, I understand. Sayuri, can you leave us alone for a sec? Sayuri looks at me surprised and then at Tina. Alright then. She smiles as she leaves, but after a few steps she turns around with a devilish grin. Invite her first over to dinner before kissing her, alright? Sayuri! Sorry. Sayuri then turns her back toward us and walks up to Yuri. I notice Yuri is staring at us. She shakes her head and then pays her attention towards Sayuri. I swear that she's actually smart and only acts like a child. Well, you know, I'm pretty convinced that she is like that too. As I want to turn back to Tina, she sighs and heads toward the door. Wait! I manage to grab her shoulder before she has a chance to leave. She looks pissed, with her hands formed in fists. Before she punches me or whatever she usually does, I fish out one of the more crazy ideas. You don't have to tell me, Tina. Tina raises her eyebrows in surprise. She pays me full attention. Tell what exactly? Tell what you're doing, well, behind the scenes. Tina looks down and relaxes her hands, letting go of them from the fist position. How would we— it doesn't define you. What matters is all of the other stuff about you. Not that. Yeah, what is that other stuff? Interests, hobbies, favorite things, stuff like that. Point is, we can still hang out, even though I don't know all of the details. You know, go outside of school, have a coffee, or help out a grandma in a crosswalk, who knows? Tina giggles at my grandma joke. As she thinks further, you'll absolutely be fine with not knowing it? I promise. Alright, then we can hang out, if it doesn't interfere with my own business. And in an instant, a smile appears in both of our faces. I would like to meet up later today, but I have a club at— That's fine, I can wait. I stand by, a bit surprised. Really? Yeah, it's fine. Pinky, aww. Pinky promise? I laugh out loud as Tina's looking at me with a "is this guy retarded" look. She then gets an answer from me as I calm down. My sister always insisted that I do those when they were children. I can't count how many I've had to do in my life. I extend my pinky finger on my right hand, having the other 4 fingers enclosed. What do you say? Tina still looks at my pinky with a weirded out expression. She then smiles as she extends her pinky with her right. Alright. Pinky promise. She struggles for a sec to position the pinky somewhat right before her pinky fingers unlock, confirming the promise. Aww. And then we're here at the restaurant for the interview with Mrs. Vaughn. The server smiles as she takes her order and walks off. We're in the back of the restaurant, in the same table I previously sat with Mrs. Vaughn. You seriously don't want any food? I already told you that I don't want anything. After a while of silence, I shrug and leave fate be. Fine. Really? In here? Tina lights up a cigar, places her lighter on the table, and sighs. So what exactly are we talking about? Just Vaughn looks down and thinks for a while before responding. In the documentary, we plan to include a section about Monika Aston. That would involve mainly you two. Vaughn points at me and Faith. Then a general section on Mason Aston. That would involve Mrs. Alessi. She then points at Tina. Faith narrows her eyes and taps with her fingers. She has her jacket hung over her chair. Who is we? Central Television Station. We all raise eyebrows at the revelation. CTS? What wants a public television to do with the whole shit show? Before Mrs. Vaughn can respond, Tina coughs to get her attention. That isn't a bit surprising, to be honest. She then taps her cigar in an ashtray, getting the remaining fire in the butt. A little bit of money here and there, some blackmail, and suddenly you're in control of the entire city. That's impressive no matter how you look at it. And where is it? And that's where she comes in? Faith raises an eyebrow and she points at Mrs. Vaughn. You could say it that way. The station has asked my boss to do a documentary about it. Faith frowns. She wants to ask another question, but is caught off with a server arrived with the first plate of food. The plate of spaghetti with bologna sauce goes to... That's mine, thanks. The server smiles as she places the plate before Tina and then walks off. Ah, bloody hell, I forgot my poultry. Tina looks around and notices a holder for poultry. Before she can do it herself, I reach for a spoon and a fork and hand it to Tina with a smirk. Bon appetit! Or how is it exactly? We're flirting in front of an interviewer and her sister. Really? Bon appetito. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Oh, I'm mistaking French with Italian isn't a good idea, pal. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to mix any culture in any other culture. But still, thanks. Tina takes the poultry from me and starts to mix the spaghetti and the sauce. Cutlery! Ah, sorry. Tina takes the cutlery from me and starts to mix the spaghetti and the sauce. Faith then coughs and looks at Mrs. Vaughn to continue the discussion. So if I get it correctly, you want to interview us for a documentary. That's right. My voice, sorry. That's going to cause unwanted attention. Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna raise any problems. Tina just finishes mixing her spaghetti when she responds. All of Mr. Aston's men are either in jail or in exile. What the hell? I want to see the story between this Aston dude. You just need to be careful, as we always were. Going into a documentary and spouting shit about people, it is gonna raise attention from them. But as I tell you, all of them have something more important than hassles to deal with. So you want to go spout shit? I'm still icky about that. Doesn't make my statement less true though. Nate looks at the table and taps with her finger. She then looks at me. How do you feel about it? I also avert my eyes and think for a while. Honestly, I don't know. Faith again taps with her fingers, accepting new information on what to do with it. Can we get interviewed anonymously? I'm afraid that's not going to work. Why? It's complicated. Faith coughs and leans against her chair she's sitting on. That's fantastic. I debate over the fact that I've been presented as a twinkle with my thumbs. Even through that difficulty I'm in. Why? It will give me an excuse to not answer questions from annoying reporters. That's all? I avert my attention from Fate. It isn't actually, but I don't have the mood to answer that right now. Mrs. Vaughn smiles as she looks at Tina, who is currently putting spaghetti in her mouth. Before Mrs. Vaughn can speak, Tina looks at her and nods, signaling her approval. Then Mrs. Vaughn looks at Fate. She's currently crossing her arms as she looks at us. Then she looks at me. After staring for a while, she sighs. Not me out of it then. She gets up, grabs her jacket, and starts leaving. Wait, Faith! Faith ignores me as she opens the restaurant door and leaves the restaurant. Where is she going? But at least someone agreed. That's more than I expected. Tina chuckles after that comment as the server brings a second plate of food we ordered and places it in front of me. Dang, from a tense situation to now deja vu. Okay. Swinging the door open, I look around as I step quietly. Monica is currently talking to Amy while Sayori is doodling on a piece of paper. Yuri is reading a book with a green cover I faintly recognize, like the one that the club got assigned to read and then discuss. I still didn't receive any information on that. I don't see Malon or Natsuki around. How is it with them anyway? Going back in the memory of the past, I can't recall any mention of either of them about their relationship. But I definitely know is that it wasn't exactly the best one. Having the club checked around, I decided to greet aloud the whole room. Hello everyone! I'm still kind of unsure about how I will greet everyone, but I think this will be enough. Someone then noticed my greetings, and it was Monika and Amy. Monika smiles at me as she comes over. Hello Fate, how was your weekend? I can't help myself but quickly think back to what I saw in her file back at you. Okay, remember what I said about it from being a tense situation and into deja vu? Well, this isn't deja vu, oh my god. I just remembered suddenly all of what we read about Monika. God! Did she really do it? Did she really do it? Going over the spoliation of evidence conviction, my answer is most likely. She is then involved in some form of an organization or other powerful individual, if she was able to avoid prison. Even with all of those facts, I still have to keep appearances, so I smile back. Oh my goodness! You could say it was interesting. Can I ask in what way? I'm stuck for a second with an answer. I can't tell her I know what she has done. That will grab me a fucking hole in the head. I do an as I show I'm thinking about an answer. When I touch my notebook, that's when I find a quick scapegoat. I was doing research about show, don't tell, you know, to better my craft. That was way too similar than what I was really doing. I put my hands before my lap and gently squeeze my left palm with my right, trying to be calm. Monika then nods. I'm glad you decided to get better with your writing. You're doing great. Now where was I? Monika thinks over as she looks at Amy. You were talking about the book aside. Oh, so I'm assuming she's the one with the red ribbon. And the sixth member. Oh yeah, that's also news for you, Faith. As members of the Ledger Club over a 2-week period were reading a book, which we will then discuss at a special club meeting. I think it's a great way to encourage reading different genres and sometimes ties to literature, don't you think? I actually agree with that, so I nod without hesitation. I stopped for a while. I don't want to seem too enthusiastic. Yeah, I do think that diversity is important. Awesome! We're currently reading Prague. I still hope that I'm not butchering that. Prague Spring by Simon Mauer, and I had to apologize that I don't have it for you two. I didn't know when Amy would get healthy again, and I wasn't expecting a new member. I don't think you need to apologize, Monika. I'd rather be sure than sorry then. Again, rather. I think the school library will have 2 copies, so I recommend you search there. Will do. Did be Faith? This came out of nowhere. Did Monika find out somehow that I know? Is she planning to kill me already? My left hand is sending waves of pain as I squeeze it even harder than before. I try to calm down as I come to my senses. She wouldn't do it here. Too many witnesses. Plus I don't even know she really did kill those. Oh! 10 to 12! Oh my goodness! I hate when I'm uncertain about something, damn it! Yeah, sure. Both Amy and Monika smile, and with a, I will admit, fake smile of my own, leave with Amy. After we walk out of the club room, I realize that I have been holding my breath. Slowly release it as to not alert Amy. We're continuing in silence until I find one detail I want to ask about. What did you caught, Amy? So, but it has been throwing with me because I have a weaker immune system at most. So you've been more ill than most people? Pretty much. I nod as we continue in our walk. I'm sorry that's happening to you, by the way. You can get used to it after a while. Really? I wouldn't get used to it at all. Why? I open my mouth to answer, but then I stop. After guessing it's probably safe to tell her, then I start speaking. I just hate when life is fucking with me, and I don't know why or how it started in the first place. You continue while steps reverb across the hallway. Why were you so nervous around Monika? I slowed down to a halt at the realization of what Amy said. Oh fuck! You don't have to tell me, I'm just curious. Why are you curious? Said every mobster ever. Silence ensues as I try to think of a good excuse of an answer. You could say I'm not good around with certain people. I release a fake, nervous chuckle, but it isn't that far from how I really feel. Amy isn't really impressed by my lie. Oh god. I'm not exactly sure if that's the reason. Oh no. She's either dumb or naively honest. So dumb. When I take too long to respond to her statement, Amy sighs and then nods to herself. It's what wait a minute, what? Whoa, wait a minute, what the hell? How do you... Amy nods to herself and then continues with the library. I follow her. I know that the rumors that are going around are quite scary, but I don't think you have to worry. What? Oh, I have to worry. What the hell? Most of the students are just sharing conspiracy theories that hold no water. I opened my mouth to say I didn't hear any rumors, but then I keep my mouth shut. She probably doesn't have the same information, which she could then accidentally blurb in front of Monika. Or is associated with Monika and report me if she knew. I knew. Better to be safe. As we continue in silence, one thought then gets repeated in my head. I have to find out more about Monika. Amy, I'm on to you. What the hell? How did... Oh my goodness. I'm on to you, Amy. Is that it? Is that the game? Hey. So, guess that's it then for the game. Wait a sec, what happened? Oh, what's happening? The hell? What the heck? Huh? What's happening? What's happening? Jumped successfully. Huh? Our pickup truck squeaks as we stop at the red traffic light next to the highway entrance. A van stops right behind us. The traffic is mostly empty. We've only made a car or two. The slightly cold air is ruffling my hair as it swipes through the passengers. I didn't believe we decided to ride in this rusty old junk. Looks like something from the Vietnam War! I smile as I look back. Faith and Oscar is sitting in the bed of the truck on a fixated piece of wood on each side, holding the side to keep themselves steady, especially since it's an incline. Both of them are a couple of bags, mostly consisting of packed tents. You don't need to worry, Faith. I made sure to pick something reliable. Monika says that as a voice cracks in the car's dashboard and a green indicator lights up. Are you having fun there? The voice came from a black transmitter. Monika grabs it and holds it out to Faith. The button enables you to speak. I know how a transmitter works. Faith clutches the transmitter in her hand and pushes the button. Fuck you and your stupid fucking idea. Oh, who's Victor? Victor laughs, cracked through the transmitter as she returns to Monika. She returns it to its place where a magnet holds it in tight. I don't like this at all. Faith? It's alright, you know. This isn't that safe. From when you were such a crybaby. Oh, shut the fuck up. This has nothing to do with me being a crybaby. Alright, stop being angry, okay? Now, there's no need to rip our throats out, alright? So I would suggest you would stop your bullshitting. From when you're the peacemaker? When? Monika, can't you just throw him out of the car? Don't bring me into this, alright? Your arguments, your problems. With that, silence grows between us. A black SUV is driving to the crossroad of the gateway entrance, slowly stopping. The red light on our line is still shining. Isn't that car supposed to go? As Faith narrows her eyes, she looks at the black SUV. Monika, looking at the license plate, reaches for the transmitter herself and starts speaking into it. Victor? Yeah? Might have a problem with the black SUV. Faith freezes after she says that, then she reaches for her back and starts searching through it. Holy tits, you might be right, at least this time. Cut your bullshit of yours and be serious for once. What's happening? All three of us are surprised by Monika's assertiveness. She rarely likes that. Alright, you uptight nonsense, what do you want to do? You could maybe escape by the highway. You wanna try it on how fast that van and truck can go? What did I say? Fuck yourself too. Monika then puts the transmitter loudly back to its place and reaches for the gear shift. It wouldn't make sense to us to make a move on us now though. Monika stops and takes the transmitter again. It doesn't matter, I don't want to risk hurting the others because some assholes decided to fuck with us. Can someone explain to me what the fuck is going on? Can someone? Monika looks coldly at Natsuki as she puts the transmitter back. Not now, Natsuki. Are we going to run into conflict? Because I'm pretty sure Faith is all we need in order to keep us safe. Monika looks at Faith after she asks. With a nod, she returns to the attention to the SUV. Oh no. Just now I noticed that Faith has her M1911 in hand ready to strike. Ah fuck. My thoughts run like crazy as the light turns green, allowing us to move. Monika slowly starts moving to the truck down the road as she watches the SUV. Suddenly the SUV squeaks as it charges at us! Shit! Okay. Monika rapidly pushes the accelerator, causing the wheel to squeak as she heads forward. Alright, we nearly missed the black SUV. The SUV manages to turn around and start chasing us! Why now? Monika turns to the wheel to the right and drifts into the random street. Both the SUV and Victor's van follow us. What the fuck? Okay, so here's the chase scene. Air flies through my hair as Monika picks up the transmitter and starts yelling into it. Victor, can you try to distract the goddamn SUV? When I turn around to see that one of the chasers is trying to peek out the window. The chaser has a ski mask over his head, so I can't identify who it is. But I identify the handgun sticking out of the window as well. Get down! We managed to keep our heads down before the gunshots. The front glass of the truck didn't survive it though. Victor! Monika continues to yell into the transmitter when Victor finally responds, poison coming from his voice. Can't you see I'm riding a fucking van? Ah, fuck your sense of humor. I wasn't making a joke. Another gunshot suddenly rings out. Monika and Natsuki and I duck and try to avoid it. Oh! Faith doesn't. When I look at her and want to ask why she's trying to bring with a gun in the SUV! From when the fuck do you have a gun? Faith also notices. Monika also, I can't read. Monika also notices Faith with a surprised look. Since I wanted to protect myself. That answer satisfies Monika for now when she has to take a left into another street. What no? I wasn't expecting this. As I look behind, none of Faith's gunshots had hit the... If you're gonna have a gun, at least have good accuracy, Faith. Your skills are shit, you know that? Then be lucky you don't shoot yourself with yours. With yours, asshole. Just give me the gun. One of Faith's gunshots hits the SUV's front glass, making a big crack. That probably angered our chasers because they spin up and hit our truck. Fuck! Faith loses stability and falls onto the bags. I notice the black SUV is getting right next to us. The guy with the handgun has gone inside. Monika, can't you speed up? Believe me, I have the accelerator on the fucking ground! Even with that, it isn't enough to run away from our chasers getting next to us. I have an idea! What are you gonna do? Brace yourselves! Monika immediately swings the wheel to the right and then the back of the right. She hits the SUV hard, which sends out the road into a nearby electrical slope. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Everyone alright? That... I... Let me collect myself for a bit. With a collective sigh, we all continue down the street, relieved that the danger is gone. What the fuck? We stop in front of Monica's house. Monica gets out of the car and goes to the van. The gunshots were still ringing in my ears as I get out of the car as well. My butt hurts from all the sitting. After a few seconds, I hear someone's footsteps approaching me. Hey, are you okay? It's Amy in her casuals. Are you... Aha! Spider... Spider design. Amy. Haha. Are you okay? I turn around to see Amy. She still has her glasses askew a bit. I'm alright. Amy nods to herself and looks around. She's worried, but I'm not surprised. We only just got shot at and chased. Who do you think that was? You would like to know too, huh? Well, it would be real nice to be honest. Faith walks up to us from my other side, her arms crossed. But I think one thing is certain. Someone wanted one of us dead. Amy thinks about what Faith says and then shakes her head. Why though? We all stay silent as I lean against the truck, anyone not really wanting to answer the question. Amy raises a valid point. Who was that? Before I can think about it anymore, I overhear some shouting coming from the direction of our van. So his name is Victor. Monica and Victor are arguing over something while Monica is shooting her hands up. Is it even worth speculating who was the desired one? Faith also looks at the arguing and frowns. I think it is becoming more and more obvious. Oh, wait. After Monica and Victor finally stop arguing, you know what they've decided to send us home. Why are we having this kind of a scene? He also agreed on sending security divisions to the streets where we are all living in, whatever they meant. They were meant to arrive in them in 2 hours. Monica then started arguing that 2 hours is too long. I don't remember what it was precisely. Victor was so sick of it that he proposed to just drive us home. Monica, after a bit, agreed to it. We all went just like before, Sayori, Yuri, and Amy with Victor, while others with Monica. While we were riding towards Natsuki's house, she suddenly said that she didn't want to go home, and that she'll still think of an excuse for her father. From that moment, I should have known that she was planning something. Even her stares at Monica should have raised a flag. When she did reveal her intentions, I thought she was crazy at first, but I didn't want her to be hurt, so I complied. And that decision led us to all here. The truck slowly stops in front of my house as Monica sighs. She taps the steering wheel with her fingers as she looks at the distance. Alright, off you go. All 3 of us look at each other. We all recognize the uneasiness in our looks. I get out of the car while Faith and Natsuki open the trunk and start putting things on the sidewalk. I help them, and after a while all of our things are out of the car. One more thing. Monica speaks up as she has her head down. She then looks at us, frowning to herself. Nobody will know about this, right? Oh, yes! But what the hell? I want an explanation to what just happened! Natsuki looks at me with her eyebrow raised. I notice that she subtly shakes her head. Even through that shake, I close my eyes and then nod. You can count on us. Monica smiles to herself as she starts up the car again. The smell of gasoline spreads as she drives off. Faith frowns as she picks up her stuff in one of the tents and takes them to the house, leaving me and Natsuki alone. Natsuki sighs as she frowns at me. Is she mad that I accepted Monika's request or what? After a while she gives up and goes to me. Something is definitely happening, but what? Do we even want to know? Natsuki looks in the direction Monica drove off. You could try asking her. I don't think that's a necessarily good idea. Why not? Didn't the phrase "nobody will know about this" tip you off? And don't you think that we have the right to at least know so we can help her if needed? I don't want to meddle with someone's business. If you want, you can. Before Natsuki can respond, Faith appears and enters the conversation. He's right, Natsuki. She did something, and it's best if we leave it alone. I would like to know what is going on too, but it's gonna cause a lot of bullshit for us in the future. Natsuki looks at Faith and then at me. You know that you're doing the same mistake right now. My eyebrow automatically rises as I look at her. What mistake? Same one you did with Sayori. Ugh. My mind stops working as I quickly look at Sayori's house. I can see through the window that she's currently in her kitchen, drinking juice from a glass. I breathe in and take a step closer to Natsuki. That isn't the same situation. Of course it is! Monika's going through a dark time, and you're just gonna ignore her, just like with Sayori. You told me that you regret not noticing what is with Sayori, and if you want to to better yourself, then don't do the same mistakes. Please, just think about what would Sayori want you to do. Natsuki almost pleads with me, with the last few words as I go over what she said. Doing the same mistake? Is she serious? What would Sayori want? I avert my eyes towards Faith, who is leaning against the fence watching us. She averts her eyes on the ground, clearly thinking about something. After a while of watching her, she looks at me and suddenly nods. Does she want me to go? Didn't she say it's gonna cause trouble? But she looks as interested as Natsuki is. And to be fair, to Natsuki, she's right. But going like this to Monika... I look back at Natsuki. You're right, that I shouldn't repeat my mistakes. I place my hands on my hips as I look down and think. My eyebrows frown as I contemplate. We're never going to Monika is a good idea. Alright, we'll go under one condition. Natsuki looks relieved as she relaxes her face and smiles. What condition? We'll make it quick. But first let's take our stuff inside. Natsuki frowns as she looks at us and at our stuff at the ground. Let's do that. As said, both of us take our stuff inside and with a goodbye head towards Monika's place. Monika's house is just around the corner. When I get doubts about her. Who was that chased us? They were pretty persistent about chasing Monika. What if Fate was right and we're just going to cause more trouble? I'm taken aback to reality as Natsuki knocks on the front door. She crosses her arms as she waits. No response. Really? I think this is a clear indication that she wasn't visit. Natsuki ignores me and rings the doorbell. It takes a while, but I can hear her quiet steps coming towards the door. Just as Natsuki wants to ring again, the door opens. Whoa, wait a minute. Before we can do anything, the both of us are grabbed by our shirts and thrown into the house. Due to force, I lose my balance and fall on the ground, my chin hitting first. Ow! What the fuck? I feel a light kick in the stomach for hearing a fall. Natsuki has tripped over my body and ended up next to me, a little bit shaken up. Can you explain to me what the fuck are you doing here? Monika, please calm down. We're only gonna ask if you're alright. Monika's very loud question makes us both look up. Monika's frowning the hardest she can, her left is formed in a fist. The other is holding a silver revolver ready to strike! Oh my god! Why does everyone have guns in this mod? I stare at the gun for a good while. Huh? Monika's anger brings my focus on her, while I blink several times. Did you get how stupid of a decision you just made? Natsuki quickly scrambles to her feet and takes a defensive position. We just wanted to ask you what's going on. And you wanted to do it now? Jesus Christ, Monika, can you calm down? I speak up when I'm getting up. Afterwards, I put my hands forward to signal Monika to calm down. Monika then sighs and puts her gun back behind her back. I'm sorry for yelling, but this isn't the time to talk about something like this. We get that this isn't the best time, but you could have picked the worst smile on. Monika scoffs at me as she continues further into the house and up the stairs to the second floor. You still haven't explained a single thing. What's going on? Monika, while continuing, turns her head in Natsuki's direction. You know that I'm not telling you because of your safety, right? Monika almost growls with her last words as Natsuki stops. Monika still continues up. Because of our... Natsuki looks at the ground, not really knowing how to process what Monika said. She then looks back at her, anger returning her voice. You're not making any sense, Monika! Natsuki gets even more angry. She tightens her fist and continues towards Monika. Uh-oh. I get up the stairs too and follow them into her room. Once I enter, I realize Monika's bedroom. She has her tent packed. I close the door behind me as Monika places her gun on the table. I notice she has her transmitter on the table. Well, will you answer me? I already told you it's for your goddamn safety, Natsuki, so stop pestering at me about it. But could you tell us at least something? Monika, believe me when I say that, we just wanted to help you get through all this and you want to help. Oh yeah, that's why we came! Monika looks at Natsuki annoyed. She then goes over to the door and opens it. You will help me by not getting yourself in danger and leaving. Natsuki with her mouth wide frowns her eyebrows. Monika, will you stop talking with riddles? That's fucking annoying! Why don't you just spit out what's going on? Natsuki, can you calm down? Before I can say what I want, the transmitter surfaces to life and I notice a voice start talking from it. Aston, do you copy? Some sort of a weird voice comes from the transmitter. Sounds really robotic. Maybe it has gone through some sort of voice changer? Why the fuck would someone go through the trouble in the first place? They both look at Monika, who picks up and starts talking into it. Yes, I do. What is it? Both Natsuki and I look at each other, confusion being clear on our faces. Oh no. A black car just dropped in front of your house. I identified it's the license plate. They want to finish it. Horror runs through our faces as we realize in what situation we are. Monika, after a while of horror in her eyes, speaks up. Can you do something? No, I can't break cover, otherwise the whole thing fails. You're on your own! Oh my god! Monika taps her fingers as she thinks. After a while, her face hardens. Roger that. The transmitter cuts off. Monika lets it fall to the ground and then destroys it with her foot. That's when I hear the front door open with multiple steps into the house. Ah, shit! Monika quietly swears as she grabs both of our shirts, takes us to her closet and opens it. In. Monika, this isn't one of the most obvious in! I don't protest anymore, so I let Natsuki and myself into the closet. The closet is big enough for the two of us as we enter. Be quiet. Monika quickly and quietly closes the closet, leaving us both in the dark. I make out that she grabs her gun and goes over to the door. I can barely see her in the dark, but I can still see Natsuki's wide eyes. Alon? Natsuki's voice delivers me in quiet whispers. Yeah? Do you know what's going on? I wish I knew. I avert my eyes from her, shame covering my thoughts. I know, but I can't. Huh? After a bit of consideration, I shake my head in disapproval. Suddenly I hear the door hitting something and Monika hiss through her teeth. Wait, huh? This is too much to stomach. What the hell's happening? Somebody punches Monika and she falls to the ground, dropping the gun in the process. Steps across the room indicate the attackers closing on her. Natsuki is brave enough to slightly open the closet door, letting us both see what's going on. Surely the attacker is closing in on Monika. The person wearing all black has some kind of ski mask. You're not getting me that easily! Monika tries to kick the attacker but misses. Instead, the attacker grabs her leg and ouch! Ah, fuck! Monika tightly grabs her carpet in order to ease the pain. She then tries to kick him with her second foot unsuccessfully. The attacker stumbles and lets go of her foot. Monika gets up and runs for her laying gun nearby. She's unsuccessful with the second attacker, also in black, a bit shorter, emerges from the hallway and rams Monika into a desk. Monika falls to the ground, hissing from the impact, while the second attacker keeps their balance. Before Monika can reach for her gun, the second attacker starts kicking her in the stomach. Both Natsuki and I are watching in the closet, flinching every time Monika's kicked. Who wouldn't? I can't take this anymore. Wait, what are we planning on doing? Natsuki steps forward, but before she can move in her plans, I place my hand on her shoulder. Don't want to lose you. My eyes dance in fear as I look at her, shaking my head. After a while of staring at her, Natsuki relaxes her posture and nods. As I look back, Monika is still lying on the floor, holding herself by her abdomen, surrounded by the attackers. The attackers look at each other and nod. One takes out something shiny. Oh. It takes me a while before recognizing the silver shininess of metal handcuffs. The attacker goes behind and grabs Monika's arms. Monika tries to get out of the grab, but a kick to the head forces her to stay in position. Not long after, Monika is helpless about moving her hands as the attacker grabs her by the collar and yanks her on her knees. We can barely see Monika in the amount of space we can open the closet door without being seen, but the blood coming from Monika's nose is very noticeable. Natsuki shakes with my shoulder. And I look at her, she nods with her head to the attackers. Even still after what we see, I shake my head. Not safe. We return to the whole situation as the shorter attacker picks up the broken transmitter and chuckles. I can't determine the gender of them based on that. They then drop the transmitter in front of Monika and crash before her. What are you waiting on? Both Natsuki and I are a bit shocked by Monika's question while still trying to get out of the handcuffs, fury growling from her voice. Why won't you do what my father has ordered you to? Wait a minute, what? The attacker looks at their companion. The companion nods. The crouching attacker then shrugs and gets up. Natsuki looks at me with a look saying, what are they talking about? And to be honest, I'm wondering the same question. A tense quiet spreads until the attacker behind Monika takes out a black wire and puts it around Monika's throat. Oh, what the hell? Monika lets out a surprised gasp, eyes wide while struggling to breathe. Before Natsuki can say anything, I cover her mouth not to alert the attackers. She struggles. What the hell? Oh! She struggles to remove my hand from her, but I manage to keep it where it is. After a while, she gives up. They both look at Monika again. She flinches with her hands, pushing against the handcuffs, trying to break them. She gives one last push as she tries to stand up. The attacker behind her notices and steps on her legs. Monika's unable to do anything. With her face and lips slightly getting blue. Monika struggles with turning her head around. Suddenly, Monika stops struggling for air. The attackers nod to each other as one behind Monika takes out the wire. Monika's body falls lifeless on the ground face first. Without hesitation, the attacker before Monika then raises their foot and aims for Monika's neck. That's how it ends. Really? That's your logo, really? Ah. Well. Wow. I'm honestly taken aback. What the hell? That was very... Well, considering that this is just a demo, I am assuming that in the full release, that will be very visual. Like, you can actually see Monika getting murdered. At least that's what my brain thinks, but... Wow! What the hell? This mod, man! I don't regret ever playing it. What the hell? That's all I can do for now. What the hell? Really well done. Bravo, indeed. Reminder, can't trust anyone.